Okay, so I really hate talking in front of people, and talking to video cameras makes me even more uncomfortable. And so when I was asked to do this testimony, I was a bit like, I don't really want to do it. And I complained and I moaned and I whined. But at the end of the day, I was like, okay, maybe I should just, bite the bullet and talk about why I'm a Christian. Okay, so I was brought up in a Catholic family, and I was brought up going to church and it was all fairly normal for me. And I went to primary school thinking that everyone went to church and everyone likes RE and likes God, so that was fine. And it wasn't until I went to secondary school that I realised that that's not the case, and not everyone goes to church and likes God. And even though I went to a Catholic school, there were still people there that didn't believe in God and that didn't like going to church and that. So yeah, I got the reputation, because I was a Catholic, of God girl, and everyone laughed at me, and I was quite persecuted for being a Christian, but it wasn't anything serious. It's just not nice to be laughed at for something that you believe quite strongly about, so it was a bit confusing. And it wasn't until I was in year 9 that I decided that I wanted to take my own interest, when I was able to get confirmed, my own interest into my faith. And my older sister Becky, started work at Zion, at Spec in London Colney, and she introduced me to all these things like Bright Lights, which was a festival for a weekend of a bunch of Christians and young people my age that were into their faith. And it was something I'd never been to before. I didn't actually understand how a bunch of Christians could come together and talk about their faith in such an open way, because I was used to school. And so yeah, when I came back from that weekend of everyone saying, it's good to be a Christian, it's okay to be a Christian, I went back to school with the same attitude, and I was like, come on, let's do more stuff, let's start praise and worship groups and things. And everyone thought I was crazy. They really thought I was mental. So that kind of upset me a little bit, and I got more criticism from school and from friends. But aside from that, I was also the girl that people could come to talk to about their faith, which as well as being, quite scary, being laughed at all the time, it was a real blessing to have people come up to me and say, so what do you think about God, and why do you believe in God? So that was quite a nice position to be in. And when I was in year 11 of school, I was told about this thing at Zion called summer camp, and I was told it was a bit like Bright Lights, but for a week. And I thought, wow, Bright Lights was really short, it'd be great to do it for a week. So I came to this week at Zion, and because of the way it was set up, I was really asking more questions than I would do on my own. And I began to question my faith and think, I feel really apart from God. I don't think he's close enough to me as I'd like to be. And it really upset me, and for the beginning of the week, I was really upset and thinking that there was something wrong with me because I wasn't close enough to God. And halfway through the week, they introduced the idea of prayer ministry, which I'd never heard of before and didn't really know what it was. But they said, you can come and be prayed with for something that you want. And so I thought, okay. So I sat down with 2 people who I'd never met before and started talking about how I was worried that God didn't love me for who I was, and he loved everyone else and stuff happened to everyone else. But for me, it was like nothing, I couldn't feel it. And so they started praying for me, and it was literally like a cloud was being lifted from my eyes. I was just left with this feeling of happiness and with the knowledge that God loved me, and I'd never felt that properly before. So it was a really incredible feeling, and then I knew that all the criticism from my friends and all of that was worth going through, to know that what I'm doing is right. I'm not, nothing's wrong with me. And the test of my faith and whether I was going to continue being a Christian came when me and my boyfriend Adam got together, because he was brought up Jewish and he's now atheist. So it's really difficult to try and connect with someone on the level that I'm used to connecting with people, with someone that doesn't know who God is. He's got no knowledge of prayer, of faith, or anything like that. He's just got what he went to school with. So it was a real challenge, and it really made there have been difficulties in our relationships based on the fact that he doesn't know who God is. But it's a really incredible thing to be able to talk to someone who doesn't know about God, and to try and talk to them so that they'll understand. And it really works that that he's not Christian and I am. And although sometimes I really think, oh, it'd be so much easier if I didn't believe in God or if Adam did, but you know, then everything would be easy and that would just be, you know, a bad thing. So I'm really happy to have that kind of level of not knowing what's going to happen with him. So that's really good. And like I said at the beginning, I had to bite the bullet to do this talk because I really don't like talking in front of video cameras. But it's the same with faith, like it's the same with my religion anyway, that I really had to, at the end of the day, just say, look, yeah, I'm a Christian, and yeah, sometimes it's really awkward and uncomfortable to stand up and say in front of people, I believe in God. But at the end of the day, that's what my religion is. You know, I've got to stand up and just say, yeah, I'm a Christian.